Hello everyone, welcome back to AutoTrend TV. I am your Viprajesh again from Chandra Hyundai Coimbatore today, and I am here with the newly launched facelifted Hyundai Verna top spec SX optional diesel variant. This facelifted Hyundai Verna gets a dramatically updated design at the front, an updated interior and BS6 compliant petrol and diesel engines. Now if you may have seen my review of the SX variant of the new Hyundai Verna, you can see that this SX optional variant looks quite similar to the SX variant. You get the very same large cascading grille with the mesh pattern, a sharper front bumper with chrome highlights, and sharper looking headlamps. However, this SX optional variant gets all LED headlamps with projector fog lamps. Moving on towards the sides, this top spec SX optional variant alone gets dual tone 16-inch alloy wheels, which are nice to look at and definitely complement the design of the Hyundai Verna. This here is a quick look at the side profile of the new facelifted Hyundai Verna SX optional variant. The Verna has always been a very dynamic looking sedan, and additionally in this phantom black color, it looks simply stunning. This top spec SX optional variant also gets chrome door handles along with a chrome window lining, so as to improve the premium quotient of this car. Moving on towards the rear, you get to see mildly updated LED tail lamps, a new design rear bumper with diffuser like details, and a reverse parking camera integrated into the number plate housing. This car also gets a rear windshield defogger, as standard on the top spec variants. So that was all about the exterior design details of the new facelifted Hyundai Verna top spec SX optional variant. Now let's get inside this car to check out the features and comfort. Yes folks, I'm right now inside the new Hyundai Verna top spec SX optional diesel variant, and this is how the dashboard looks like. Largely, it's quite similar to the SX variant which I had already reviewed, including this steering wheel with cruise control, the automatic headlamp stock, and this digital instrument cluster which I will turn on. And of course, you can see that the center console is also quite similar to the SX variant. You get the very same large touchscreen system along with automatic climate control. And however, this here is the exclusive feature for the top spec SX optional variant. You get front ventilated seats. This feature is not available on the lower SX variant, so that is an exclusive feature for this top spec model. This here is the wireless charging pad which was also present on the SX variant. You get the very same 12-volt charging socket, you get a USB port over here, and you get this accessory port over here which also includes a USB charging socket, or you can just remove this and use it as a 12-volt charging socket. So that is all about this. So let's just place it over there. You get the 6-speed manual transmission on this diesel engine equipped variants. So this is the gear lever for that. You get a dog leg kind of treatment for the reverse gear, where you have to pull this lever at the back and engage the reverse gear. So that's all about that. You get the handbrake lever over here. You get the couple cup holders which are similar to the SX variant over there, and this here is the key for the top spec SX optional variant. This is quite similar to the key found on the Hyundai Creta and even the SX variant of the Hyundai Verna, so that is really nice. This car is the top spec variant, so you get leather seats, leather upholstery, including ventilation functions for at least the front seats. The quality of the leather is really good. The seats themselves are quite comfortable. These are actually very similar to the pre-facelifted BS4 Hyundai Verna, so there is nothing to complain about that. The dashboard design itself is kind of reminiscent of the BS4 Hyundai Verna, except for these changes on the AC vents on the center console and so on. Now let me just turn on the instrument cluster and the touchscreen system. So let me just press the button over here. So that is how this car's instrument cluster and touchscreen system look like. You get kind of a BMW like design on the instrument cluster. The tachometer is on the right side, the speedometer is on the left side, and this here is the center MID where you get all the details. This Instrument cluster can be controlled using these buttons over here, just like every other Hyundai car. You get a whole lot of customization, menu options and so on, light controls, door controls, convenience and everything. You get even tire pressure monitoring system, but for that you need to drive the car at least for say a minimum distance for this car to actually display the tire pressure. And apart from that, you get all these things, the trip meters, the distance to empty and so on. Every detail is provided over here. The fuel gauge is integrated inside the speedometer on the left side, whereas the engine temperature gauge is included on the right side inside the tachometer display. So that is all about this instrument cluster. It is quite sharp. However, you cannot customize the layout of this instrument cluster unlike certain premium cars, but this still is really good enough. It is best in segment, first in segment. So this here is the new touchscreen system on the new top spec SX optional Hyundai Verna, which also includes Bluelink connectivity seen on the Hyundai Venue and the new Hyundai Creta. Along with that, you of course get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, inbuilt navigation and all other functions, including driver rear view monitor, which is basically the reverse parking camera, which you can activate while even going forward. So that is a nice feature on this car. This system gets, as you can see, this here is the navigation screen. It is not the best, but still it's quite decent for a stock system. This is actually nice. However, most of the people would prefer navigating through Android Auto using Google Maps. But still, this is a decent system to use. So that's all about the touchscreen system. Coming lower down, you get to see the automatic climate control console over here, which is quite similar to the SX variant and even the previous pre-facelift BS4 Hyundai Verna. So that is covered over there. You get front ventilated seats, which have 3 settings each for the front seats. So that is clear, as you can see. So that's all about the features, the new features of the new Hyundai Verna. On the top spec variant, coming to the steering wheel, you get leather wrapping on the steering wheel and also on the gear knob, including telescopic and tilt adjustable steering wheel. As you can see, this is the tilt adjust, and as you can see, it is also telescopic adjustable. On the right side of the steering wheel, however, you can see that electronic stability program is available only on this top spec SX optional variant, along with other safety features including dual airbags as standard. 6 airbags are available only on the top spec SX optional variant, which includes side curtain airbags as well. Coming to the roof, you get to see this electrochromic IRVM, which is quite similar to the electrochromic IRVM seen on the Hyundai Venue and the new Hyundai Creta, which also include these buttons for Bluelink connectivity integrated into the IRVM. So apart from that, you also get this console over here, which includes the interior cabin lights. These are still yellow bulbs, where you would expect white LED lights, at least for this top spec model, but still these are just yellow bulbs. That is fine, it's okay. Now you also get an electric sunroof right from the SX variant itself, so that is carried on over here as well. Just have a look at this. It is quite small in size. It is not the largest, but still you get an electric sunroof, which is quite helpful for air circulation and providing a great ambience to the cabin. So that's all about the features in the front of the new Hyundai Verna. So let's just get to the back seat to check out the differences and the comfort over there. Yes folks, I'm right now in the back seat of the new facelifted BS6 Hyundai Verna top spec SX optional variant, and this is how the dashboard looks like from the rear seat. It is quite a nice cabin to be in with decent quality materials. Now coming to the rear seat space and comfort, you get to see decent amount of legroom. It may not be the best, may not be the most spacious, however it's quite comfortable. You get decent amount of space for your feet to slide underneath the front seat. You get even decent amount of under thigh support, surprisingly, so that is a nice point. You also get couple center AC vents, which also can be controlled for airflow. That is nice. And this here lower down is a 12 volt, sorry, this is not a 12 volt, this is an actual USB charging socket for your smartphone, so that is a nice feature to have. Coming to the differences when you compare with the SX variant, you get adjustable 2 headrests for the rear seats, which is actually a good safety point. Along with that, you also get this sun blind at the rear, which is manual, and you can pull them up to block out the sun, so that is nice. You of course get this center armrest, which is quite nice and large. to provide ample comfort. Now I am unable to open this armrest due to this plastic cover, and over here you can see that the rear seats come standard with ISOFIX child seat mounts. Of course, you also get a cabin lamp for the rear seats, which is again a yellow bulb. You get decently large windows for the rear seats as well. Along with that, you can see the same leather finish carried on the door armrests. So that is actually a nice point. These are quite soft and very comfortable to rest your arm on. So that's all about the interior of the new Hyundai Verna BS6 top spec SX optional variant. It is quite a comfortable place to be in, with good quality plastics and materials, and the leather quality is also really very good. So now let's just open the bonnet of the new Hyundai Verna to check out the new BS6 diesel engine. In order to open the bonnet of the new Hyundai Verna, you have to pull this lever in the driver footwell, and let's just pop this up. Under the bonnet of the new Hyundai Verna SX optional, this being a diesel variant, you get a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged CRDI turbo diesel engine, which produces 115 PS of maximum power and a torque figure of 250 Newton meters through either a 6-speed manual transmission or a 6-speed torque converter automatic transmission. Hyundai engines have always been very refined and smooth. This engine is also available in the new BS6 compliant Hyundai Venue and the Hyundai Creta. The bonnet also gets decent amount of underpadding to improve insulation, which provides a quieter cabin and noiseless experience. Now let's check out the boot of the new facelifted Hyundai Verna. The Hyundai Verna's top spec variant also gets a smart trunk release function, which works very well if you have heavy luggage in your hands. Opening the boot, you get to see the very same 480 litre boot capacity, which is decently well shaped and very usable. Under the boot floor, you get to see a 15-inch space saver steel spare wheel, along with the other tools including the jack. The boot lid also receives decent amount of underpadding and does not leave any wiring or metal panels exposed. So that was all about the boot space of the new Hyundai Verna. Let's get to conclude this review right now. Yes, that was a detailed review of the new Hyundai Verna SX optional top spec diesel variant. While the looks may be subjective, you have to agree that the Hyundai Verna is one among the best feature-loaded sedans in its segment. While it may not be as fun to drive as the Volkswagen and Skoda sedans, it's a very smooth, capable and comfortable family sedan. I'll be letting you know about the engine performance only when I get to drive this car. So the pricing of the new facelifted Hyundai Verna is on the screen for display. Do let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this facelifted new Hyundai Verna. Meanwhile, this is Rajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.